Want to talk about me, want to talk about I, want to talk about number one on mine on hand on the phone and the song and I want to see.
I won't talk about you usually.
Never. But occasionally,
Won't talk about me.
can we talk about me?
Won't talk about me.
Holy shit. It is episode number 14 of this crazy podcast, that journey that we've been on, goose chasing. Brought to you by TAGNBRAG and TAGNBRAG Productions. We are also brought to you by TAGNBRAG Apparel. You can visit our website, tagnbrag.co, for the latest monthly apparel. And also TAGNBRAG Land Management, where we build management plans together and then shoot big deer and celebrate and talk about it and make fun of the people who don't do it. So, just kidding. But we should build a land management plan together. So if you guys are interested in doing something of the sorts, we offer a bunch of different array of services, and hopefully we can meet your needs and make your hunting just a little bit better. I mean, Camp Cutlet, New York, from what it's gone from to what it's come to is pretty incredible. I was thinking about your hunt from this past week, turkey hunt. That footage, it's fucking insane. It looks like Heartland Bowhunter. Like, it's easily could just be on the Outdoor Channel. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And, like, that scene right there, you got 3 birds coming in, destroying a decoy, A7, amazing DSLR footage, and you hammer one, all while self-filming. Like, that stage, I don't know if it was ever unattainable. I don't know that we were going to ever let it be unattainable, but there was a time where that seemed unreachable for us.
It did, and the cool thing is I try to take this in more, but that, like, it literally was, and I did take it in the field by myself, but I'm like, this is the dream. Like, when we were 12, 14 years old, maybe even 8 years ago, 25 years old, 20 years old.
Exactly.
Literally, what we're doing to our property is what we were dreaming about.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, we would, 2-3 hour car rides, we would literally talk about just everything we wanted to do and how awesome it would be and what it would create. And like, we dreamed of the crazy turkey hunts we could have, or the big deer we would hunt and follow. And we were just like planning through our minds how to get there, like you do when you're dreaming of stuff that you strive for in your life. And then we're making it reality. And I was like, it really hit me hard over that turkey hunt, because I thought about the same thing. I'm like, that was insane.
Yeah. No, I you sent me that footage and I watch it over and over again on my phone, and the pictures and just everything, and I was literally thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is it. This is what we've strived for, to create that in just a given morning in the spring. And this is like turkey hunting. We weren't even into turkey hunting 6-8 years ago. Like, we weren't even really turkey hunters. We were just messing. We're still not really like good at it, but
No.
to be able to create that scenario and that moment, when you look back 4 or 5 years ago, there wasn't a turkey to speak of on that property. Like, we were hunting turkeys, but we were really just taking a gun for a walk in the woods, because there was not turkeys to be hunted on that property. There just wasn't. And the land management has completely changed that. Obviously the addition of food plots and year-round food, and also creating cover for them to nest in and stuff like that's created that. And it seems like a blink of an eye now, when you're in the moment, but it's been so many years of just head down working. Like, and I don't know. It's such a weird thing for me. Like all week I've been thinking about it since you killed that bird, and just maybe it was the way that it was captured. And I mean, I think I was thinking about it too. Like, we have great camera equipment, but we do a lot with probably what people, would consider very little as far as
For
camera
sure.
camera equipment goes. I mean, we push our equipment to the max. Like, up until a week and a half ago, we literally had like three, maybe four different lenses for our two DSLRs that both of us have in two different states.
Yeah.
Like, and we finally got like a bigger, what is it, a 500 lens that,
Yeah.
and, and so I don't know, maybe it's because of that and just the way that you captured it and being able to see it like that, that it just like kind of popped in my mind. But it's, yeah, I
I'm
mean,
laughing
it's
too because I didn't really take this until now, but I filmed it with a camera that we were told we should throw away like
4 or
4 years
5 years.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
How old is this camera?
It's the original Sony A7, the original mirrorless Sony A7. I mean, it's got to be 10 years old. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, when like I'm pretty sure we had that on our first North Dakota trip, if I remember correctly.
We may
It was
have.
definitely one of the first couple. So it's 9 or 10 years old. I mean, yeah, that's like we cracked the screen on it.
That thing's been
Probably,
sent back, I
yeah,
think, replaced the screen. I mean, when you look at it, you're like, man, this thing has been,
through the ringer.
we've gotten every penny's worth of that camera.
She's a
We've
workhorse.
just got some more.
But yeah, I mean, getting back to it, like, you know, we're here now. We weren't here 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Like, this was all a consecutive dream that we just kept building on. And
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with that is even with these like land management plans, anyone that's watching stuff we do now, not even us, just like maybe Grant Woods or whoever's been documenting, working on their properties for a long period of time, like it doesn't happen over no, it doesn't even happen in the course of a year. So I think it's taken this long to really take in like we're at a lot of the points we've been dreaming of, but it's been so many years of that work that comes in and that takes a while to give you results. Like when you're letting deer go and this and that, like it doesn't it doesn't even happen over the course of a year. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 years.
dude, no way. I mean,
So
this is a
yeah,
long process.
it's a long process. So I think that's part of why it's just really hitting us now is because it's taken that long to get here, and I have to I try to take it back a notch because I get really hard on myself that I want I still with how good it's gotten, I want everything to be better. Like I'm still trying to be like, how can this be better? This is not good enough. This and that, and so you have to realize where you're at, the results that you've attained thus far, but at the same time, that mentality has also helped us be successful and will continue to do so. So there's a happy medium there. But yeah, I I'm on the property a couple times a week, and I'm like, this needs to be this way to be better. This needs to be this way to be better. So it's never ending grind.
No,
But
it is. It's a never-ending grind, but you do have to give yourself a little grace in the fact that, you think about how many people literally would give 10 years to be in the position that we're in, to have the opportunities that we have just on that one piece of property in Western New York. That's it.
yeah,
You know, and we're lucky enough, well, not lucky enough. I mean, we've put ourselves in a position to obviously enjoy that as our home base, and still, travel around and, get experience in other places and stuff like that too. So you do have to like sit back, and whether you pat yourself on the back or whatever you want to do, but you just have to kind of reflect and be proud of what has come of it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we grew up, we were hunting what we were hunting a fraction of that piece of property with four times as many guys, and, rooting around the woods and just, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about, and it's crazy that it's come to fruition. But it's also not, because when you have goals and you work hard and you just when there's no excuses in the way of eventually getting to that. Obviously you have to have patience along the way, but it's not surprising either. I think it's more surprising for me just because it's fucking New York, dude. Like, it's New York. Like, nobody's going to turkey hunt New York. Nobody's going to buy deer tags out of state for New York. That's just not. It's not what people are doing. There's not like it's not. It's just not what people are
No,
doing. So that
not unless likely that not unless you live in Northeast Ohio or maybe Northwest
Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania, and that's
yeah,
just like where your property is because it's close. But other
right.
than that, there's no one from like Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, whatever,
Kentucky,
Kentucky,
Kansas.
like, oh, let's go hunt in New York. I mean, not very few,
No, and if you
very
would
few.
if you would take some of these videos, that we've had the opportunity to shoot over the last handful of years, and you would show them to anybody else, really, like, New York would probably be the last spot that they would say that those videos were shot from. And for that to be kind of like our home base, and what, really where we grew up hunting, and really what's kind of, made us into this right here, to be able to create that there is even more special, I think, to all of us. So,
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool too. Every time I drive around, just the area up there, it's like I always every time I drive around, I see a new food plot going in, on a property that
yep.
we've passed for 30 years and no one ever has done anything with it. New food plot going in, or a shooting house, whatever goes up here, and you're just like, wow, I don't know. I'm not saying it's because of us, but it's just like
I mean,
people
let's
are
be real.
people are catching on to putting work in, or just managing your deer can go a long way. And it's just cool to see the area changing, because we've said it our whole life. Like, that area, the habitat there has the deer have everything they need to flourish and be as big as they get in some of these other, top states for big deer. They have everything they need there. The regulations in New York I think, have always been the reason why it can never get to the next step. But like, if a ton of landowners come together and they're all doing similar things, it could change that regardless of the regulations. But it's pretty cool to see the changes. It's a good it's a sleeper state. It really is. Deer can get big there.
Yeah, I mean, you put the work in, like you said, the habitat's not just good for the deer, it's good for all wildlife. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just
it's crazy with the incredibly intense change in climate throughout the year, how that section of the country, or that section of New York State, is so, um like, game positive. Like, there's just a lot of game there now. I mean, there is, even the turkeys now. So when, like you said, when you drive around and you see new food plots going in, and a new shooting house, or another little, like, maybe double wide trailer going in for a little hunt camp or whatever, like, if those people are putting in work, it's not just benefiting the deer, like, it's benefiting everything. It's
yeah.
benefiting everything, and we're seeing that. We're seeing the results of that, happen before our eyes. And yeah, it's pretty cool, just kind of chasing a dream that, you know I know it's a small part of the country and small part of New York State to begin with, but to be able to have a little bit of an impact on it, just based on us chasing a dream is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody. I don't know. Everybody that loves the outdoors, they're. I don't know. In my opinion, your dream is to buy a chunk of land, small or big,
Yep.
and make
Call
it
it your
your
own.
and yeah, call it your own and make it yours. So it's
Yep.
just that's what it is. That's like that's part of, in my opinion, an American dream. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's an indescribable feeling owning a piece of ground and being able to do whatever anything you want to landscape it or just make it better. You can do, and when you do that and for a long period of time and see results, I don't know. I recommend anyone that's fortunate enough to be able to buy some land, like it doesn't, it could be small. It could be 5 acres, 10 acres, but it's worth doing it. They're not making, they don't make any more land. So
Well,
go,
for the little time that we all have here on this earth, to be able to have a little chunk of ground that you can call your own and that, you can kind of control for the time that you're here is, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that is the American dream. Um, when it, like bare bones, it's not like getting rich and famous and all this money and toys and all that. Like that is, that's the slice of the American dream that is actually still alive, you know,
yeah, yeah, it is.
still attainable, because some of what, the quote unquote American dream used to be, I think, is kind of fading away into all this mess that we have in the world today. Um, but yeah, when you get down to the bare bones of it, yeah, owning your own little chunk of ground or just being able to control, a little chunk of ground and manipulating it to better the wildlife and to better your pursuit of the wildlife is pretty cool.
Or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, you could.
it could be grooming 4-wheeler trail. Like I just want to go ride on it.
Right. It could
Whatever.
be raising horses or raising livestock or
Chickens,
yeah, whatever your thing
gardens.
is, but being able to put like time and effort into the land and then without any money transfer getting something out of that is quality shit.
It will improve the quality of your life.
I agree with you.
That I can promise you. It will do that. I was cleaning out one of my old hunting jackets
No boy.
and I found these
Those glasses,
found these glasses. They're a little crushed, but
you probably
man, I was really trying to get them small.
when you were probably looking for those for
Oh, I
quite
was
some time.
definitely looking for them for a long time.
Always before you got LASIK, it was always, oh, fuck, I forgot my
I
glasses.
forgot my glasses.
I forgot my glasses. No,
I
don't
mean,
worry. No, should we go back? No, don't worry about it. I'm like, well, what are you gonna do when you gotta like focus on the camera or shoot something?
my
Uh,
goodness.
no, don't worry about it.
Folks, if you're a outdoorsman or woman and you wear glasses and you have the opportunity to get LASIK, do it.
Can you get late? Like I was thinking, because my eyes are definitely not the great. Like they're not as good as they used to be. Like so I got my driver's license in Tennessee like a couple months ago, and I'm in the fucking, I'm in the DMV, and I'm downtown Nashville, and
Packed.
there's 30 people in there. Everybody's sitting watching like the four people that are, you know,
Yeah, and I can't stand
thing.
like put some freaking elevator music on or something in the background, dude. The DMVs, I was in there this week also.
So quiet.
It is you could hear a pin drop and everyone's like, she's like, "Is this your current address? Is this your social security number? Is this your date of your weight?" And like
Yeah,
I'm
shut
just like,
up,
"Hey, a little louder for everyone in the back. Like can
dude.
hear all my information."
So I get in there and like I have to do one of those eye test things, dude.
Did you almost fail it?
I, dude, I get in there and normally like the last one that I've done, the last one that I can remember that I did fucking killed it. Like
which was
the
yeah,
very
that's
bottom line. I
probably
mean,
10 years ago.
oh, easily. The very bottom line. I'm there. What do you want me to read? Like, tell me what you want. I'll fucking close one eye and do it. I'll close the other eye and do it. Whatever. This, that, and the other. So, dude, I get in there and she's like, read line 6. I think there's 8 lines. She's like, read line 6, and I'm like looking at line 6, and it starts with like a 8, an 8, a 6, and an 8, or maybe it was B5 8.
B.
I don't know. But I'm like reading it, I'm I literally, I'm like looking at it and I'm like, gosh, this is fucked up. Like, I literally am having trouble seeing what that letter is or number. Couldn't tell you what it is. So I read it off and she's like, no, sir, line 6. And I'm like,
That's what
oh.
I was reading.
I'm like, fuck, that's what I was reading. Now I'm panicking, dude. I'm panicking. And so I'm like, oh, sorry. So I read it off again, and like I got the left side right, and then there's a middle section
Yeah.
that was easy because I could see it with both eyes. But apparently my left eye is not that good anymore. Like, and then as I was reading left to right, like it got better. But dude, I read through it 3 times, and she literally told me multiple times, like, hey, no, line 6. And she asked me in the middle of it, she's like, do you wear glasses? And I was like, no, never, not.
I should.
Apparently I should. Somehow she just let it slide. I'm not really sure. Um, but I came to the realization, I'm like, fuck, like that's not good. I mean, I can see fine, I can see fine, but when it comes down to like the finer details of things and the reading, it's got to be
Yeah.
because I look at a editing and stuff, I look at a screen so much, and it just over time, over the years, I mean, I'm 35 years old too, so it's like that's not helping my cause either, but holy fuck. And like you were saying with when your eyes were bad, like how is this affecting me shooting my bow? You know what
Oh
I
my
mean?
God, it was driving me crazy.
Cuz I mean 20, 30, 40, 50, even 60 yards like I'm pretty solid with, but then getting out even more distance, I really start to struggle, and especially with a single pin just kind of covering like everything, and it's obviously like your finite point out to that distance is blurred or it's skewed a little bit at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, maybe I don't know. Can you get LASIK without ever having glasses or ever having like a quote unquote eye problem?
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Yeah, you just go to a LASIK place and they get your prescription for you. You don't have to be like, I mean, you can get a prescription or you can just go get an eye exam somewhere and get your prescription, but they're going to do that anyway with your wherever you would get LASIK. So it
I
doesn't really
gotcha.
matter.
Well, I might be
But
joining the club soon
the
because
thing is too, when it
shit.
happens, when your eyes go bad, it happens over a long period of time. So most of the time you don't like, even like you just said, you're like, I can see fine. I was telling myself the same thing because
But you actually can see
because
as fine.
you don't know what seeing good is anymore.
Right. No,
So
you're right.
so I dealt with it for dude. I dealt with it for 6 8 years probably, which is so dumb.
Yeah.
But like you think it's almost normal. And again, mine weren't horrible. It's not like I was like I'm getting out of bed like tapping everything trying to find my glasses.
Yeah.
But when I'm driving and a quarter mile up, like you're trying to see a speed limit sign or
That.
whatever, an
Yeah.
exit sign or whatever you're trying to read, and you're like, you can't see it until you're like right next to it. It's like you have
Time.
you can be tuned up.
Right.
You're okay, but you can be tuned up. But
Right.
yeah,
Well, even like when we were up at camp a couple weeks ago, and we were driving around the block in the evening looking for birds and stuff like that. Like somebody would say bird in a field, and I would be like, where? And then it would take me a second.
oh
But
dude, you
you
don't
guys were
realize
like
what you're
picking it
missing.
out. And this is 200-300 yards away in a field, so you're not. It's really not as easy, but though, like that as a hunter, that's important. Like you need
Very.
that, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into like the whitetail and the big game side of things, like
You'll
you need
miss.
that.
I don't even know. I would hate to know what I've missed in like the time I didn't have glasses, which actually wasn't a huge period of time. I got into glasses, but glasses suck. Hunting with sucks for binoculars, sucks for putting a mask on.
Yeah,
They're just terrible to work with.
any condensation, you're done.
Oh my god, it's so.
You're
But
looking
the
through
big,
the shower window.
yeah, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing what you learn, you put your mask under your nose, which is still kind of annoying, but the biggest thing is the binoculars. If you're if you utilize that tool a lot,
Because you're not looking through your glasses then through the binoculars, right?
you
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 gotta.
can no, you can do that too. It just it just they're on glass, so it's just like you're
Nah,
not
then
getting
you.
as close to your eyes, so you're not getting that full picture. So a lot of times I would do both depending on how quick it was, but you have to change the focus if it's
Right.
looking through your glasses or your regular eyes. But most of the time I just like take the eyelids of the binoculars and like bump up the glasses and then go underneath them. But definitely worth doing. I wish I would have done it sooner. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to start looking into something like that.
Yeah, it is. It
What's
is
the longevity? Do they know? Like,
well,
are you fixed forever? Obviously, if your eyes can begin to deteriorate, I would assume even with LASIK after a certain amount of time, that goes away too.
yeah, I mean they say like you're pretty much good. I think you can go back for like touch-ups if you need it. I think that's mainly for if they didn't correct them perfectly.
Oh,
Uh,
they can touch. They can like
yeah, you can do
zero you
touch-ups.
back in. No
Yeah.
kidding. That's it. That's crazy.
Um, and most of the times like it's a little extra money, but you pay and it's like lifetime warranty. Like they give you a lifetime touch-up. So
Right.
you're good. You're good to go. But they'll tell you after like and they'll tell you after like 40 to 50 years old you'll need reading glasses, but she's like that's not because of LASIK. You're going to need those anyway.
Regardless, yeah.
So um
That makes sense.
so that's all you need, but yeah, pretty much you're good.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's definitely better than I mean, yeah, I'm the not no glasses thing is it's definitely increased my quality of living. That's for sure. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
just
twice.
one less thing to worry about. It's one of your five senses. Like you can't really put a price tag on that.
No. And I can't. I can when I'm driving, I can pick shit out like it's crazy.
You're
It's crazy.
back.
But I had to do the eye test too at the DMV this week and I could I could read everything on that whole board.
Right. That's how it used to be.
Like she told me to go down to like one of the older like the bigger ones and I was like, "Really? This is the one you're going to have me read?"
Yeah. Hang
But
out
they
with.
don't I don't think they pass everybody on that thing. I was
Oh,
in there and I'm sorry, there was a elderly man, had to be in his mid-80s. He didn't even know dude, he didn't know anything what was going on in that thing. And finally she was just like, "Okay, come back up." And I'm like, "Oh my god, there's no way she's going to give him a license." And she was like, she gave him one. She's
here
like,
you
"All right, we
go.
got to take your picture." I'm like, "That dude." And then this other kid was in there after me while I was getting my whatever, checking out and she said read a line and he read 3 letters and then was done. And and she was like, "There's 6." And he was like, "I don't see 6." And I'm like, "What is happening?" And then she gave him a license.
You got one eye closed, cuz.
I'm like, "Oh my god, crazy."
Just give him a license. Fuck it.
Just take the money and run.
Meanwhile, I've been trying for 2 months to get my plates down here in Tennessee, and I can't because of a fucking stupid title
Still
issue.
can't do that, huh?
Dude, I just got another temporary plate yesterday because I was back in there and I don't know. I got to call. I got to get a memorandum title somehow, but everybody's pointing the finger at everyone. KeyBank is like, no, the Chrysler Capital should have it. Chrysler Capital's like, oh no, 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 KeyBank should have it. And then the DMV down here's like, well, you have to request it. And then KeyBank's like, no, the DMV has to request it, and then it'll get sent to them. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is.
You guys figure this. I mean, you almost need to just come back and get a damn
Dude, but I can't now
registered
because
here.
I have a Tennessee driver's license.
Oh, yeah, my God. What a
Uh,
mess.
yeah. Anyway,
What a mess.
we don't need to get into that. Let's. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this turkey hunt, cuz?
Oh, man. So, dude, I honestly was not even like I wasn't thinking in my head I have to like I want to kill another bird.
No, I know you weren't. I
I'm
know.
I have the
I could
mindset
sense
too.
it.
Number one, this is a true story. When they were coming in, I was debating on not killing one.
You're insane.
I was literally debating on not like
You're
they're
something's
beating the hell
wrong
out
with
of
you.
decoys. I'm like I might just not kill one of these things because this I'm like this is badass. He's already dead. He's already dead,
Yeah.
or one of them is, and I'm like I'm not going to be able to get him off these decoys ever.
No, you're gonna have
And
to
then
go out and judo chop them.
and then the footage was so good and everything. I'm like, all right, I'm killing one. You know, there was three of them. If there
Okay.
was one of them, I don't think I would have shot him. But um,
Must be nice, folks out there. Good lord.
I dude, it has nothing to do with filling tags for me. I just like
No, I know it doesn't. I
exact
mean, that's
exactly like we talked about at the beginning of the podcast. Like experience that living the dream. I'm like, this is all I needed. Like
yep.
the property just did this to me, and I'm like, what do I need to?
All right.
And then I was like, I kind of want cutlets. There's three of them. I'm shooting,
Cutlets.
and I already ate the cutlets. So
The left frontal lobe of the cutlet brain kicks in, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I gotta wax one of these things.
yeah, but yeah, the three of them being together, like you know, because there wasn't there
Dude,
hasn't
those
been.
birds in the background. I mean, it looked like a fucking turkey Jurassic Park there, like you were living in Nebraska or Kansas, where there's like 35 birds, and it's just like, yeah, there's some of them 80 yards over there, cackling and strutting, and some of them are over here, and some of them are way back there. Like, take your pick.
I it's been it's been weird because there's been a ton of birds there. The last like week and a half, it's been or week I should say is ever since you guys left, it's just been quiet. Like we haven't been seeing a lot of birds on the cameras, and just I haven't. I've been up there a few mornings. I've heard a couple birds, but it's like when I hear one, it's like that's the only one gobbling, and that's it. And then like normally all the other places you normally hear them roosted, you don't hear a peep out of. So you're like, are they here, or is there just like not a lot of birds? Um, but those just caught them at the right time. I had been up there, and we always say this like these birds you can cruise around the block or cruise around the area and they're out usually with a couple hens before they go to roost. So you usually catch a group that is,
Yeah, yeah.
and they just happen to be in one of our fields. I mean, till like 7:30 that night. I watched them. I got some sweet pictures. I don't even know if I got footage of them. I was just taking sweet photos of them. And I actually didn't know where they roosted. I just knew they had to be close because they went off the field into this cover, and I'm like, all right, I don't know where they're roosted, but they're not. They can't be far. I tried to fire them up that night in the roost at dark, no peeps. So I'm just like, you know what? They're close. I got to hunt. I got to hunt in the morning, and usually the same thing. Also, you see them in that field the night before. Not always, but they tend to want to go back to the same field in the morning, at least for a little bit. Um, and yeah, I went to that field. We already had a blind set up there in a perfect spot, and so I just got in the blind. I'm like, I'm by myself. If I'm going to film a hunt, I'm bringing the A7 with this big lens. I'm not doing this like run and gun style. The footage isn't going to be good. I'm not going out there
To kill.
mission
Yeah.
kill a bird. It's mission capture with the camera. And we'll see what happens. So I brought the big lens. I had 3 cameras going. And they were gobbling in the roost. They were actually where I thought they would be. And I heard them fly down. I had a hen come through the field real early. I don't even know where she was roosted because it was still very dim. You'll see in the footage. And I didn't hear, I didn't hear her fly down. So it was super weird, but she just grazed all the way through the field and then left. And then those birds over the course of 30 to 40 minutes, they would gobble every 5 minutes or so. Sounds like they're just kind of in the same location. And then they gobbled again maybe 20 minutes later, and they were definitely closer. And I'm just like, I called a couple times with the box call. They did not respond to the call, which was weird. But then I heard those gobbles that were a little bit closer, and I'm like, you know what? They're coming this way. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing. And then it got to the point where I explained this in the video. We have a little just micro food plot that's outside of like 50 to 60 yards away from the main field I'm hunting. And they were definitely in that. And they gobbled probably, I don't know, 6, 8 times in there over the course of like 10 to 15 minutes. Like they were held up there. I didn't know why. I hit the call. They respond immediately to the call. And I'm like, oh, okay, now they're coming. They're like right there. And then it was another like 10, 15 minutes before I saw a glimpse of one. And I didn't know this at the time, but they had 2 or 3 hens there. There was a Jake. Like they weren't seeking my call. I think all the birds moved into the field because of my call, and the previous hen that came through there was yelping as well. So they knew there were birds down there,
Right. Right.
and that definitely helped, but they were not like coming like, when sometimes they're fired up and cut the distance, they'll go 200 yards in whatever 30 seconds. It was not like that, but then I just saw them enter the field, and the 3 longbeards were actually first, and they kind of peeked their head around the corner of the field and immediately saw the decoys, and they didn't run in. They just, kind of fast walk, just the 3 of them. And then I see a Jake behind them, and then 2, 3 hens behind them. And I'm like, holy crap, the flock just came out here. But I just see him walking right at the decoys, and I'm like, oh my God, it's over, or like game on.
But it's funny that like those birds, the gobblers had to be coming to your call a little bit because like they weren't following like they were leading the pack.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know
So
what they were doing. They were just, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. They were probably just browsing and coming through that. It's real thick up there. It's real
they're
thick.
probably like, we're with hens, but that
With
one
them.
sounds kind of good. But
That
we're
one
with
sounds good.
hens, but
Yeah.
that one's kind of good. I know where that one's at, but we're with hens, but they're not really receptive. But that
Yeah.
one sounds kind of
And
good.
like I said, the hen that was in the field definitely helped because she was giving some nice, a few
Nice
clucks,
raspy ones.
nice yelps going on. I'm like, this is perfect. Um, but then the last, 2 times I just kind of quietly hit the call, and they like cut me off, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
they're interested. They're coming. They're coming to this field. I knew at that point there's like the only field to go to. Once from their roost to getting closer, it's just
yeah,
all cover. I'm like, they have to come to this field, and then it's just going to be about seeing the decoys. And I knew the other thing we've found is that when there's more than one bird, usually, and they see the decoys, it's usually a challenge thing, like a competition thing, and they're coming in. We've had
yeah.
instances where if it's a solo bird, it's a little bit different. Sometimes he don't want to come into the decoy. Um,
Or
but
he's almost like afraid of the challenge.
he's afraid of the challenge. But 3 of them together, and I obviously from the night prior I knew there was 3 together. So um, I'm like, that's why a decoy setup. I'm like, it's gonna work. It's got to. But yeah, they waltzed right in, and they just started beating the hell out of the decoys. And I was just getting such good footage. I looked, almost, it was 3 minutes
Wow.
on the decoys. And some of that was because I was just getting insane footage of them, but some of it was like they're all bunched up in a group, and
Yeah.
I was honestly at like a minute and a half probably. I mean, you see in the GoPro footage, like I got my gun up, like, dude, I probably did this 5 to 8 times. I'm like trying to shoot, and then they would bunch up, and I'm like, I cannot touch 2 birds with one of these BBs. Like, I don't want to.
You didn't want to shoot one to begin with, so
I'm like,
shooting two
I'm
is
not.
going to be a
Yeah,
no.
I'm like, I'm not touching a bird with another BB. And then there were hens like behind them, kind of, and I'm just like, man, I want one of these things to clear. And then one would like pop out maybe 2-3 yards away, and I had the camera kind of zoomed in, so I'd move it over a little bit, I'd get the gun up, and then boom, he'd run right back to the decoys. And then I'm just like, this is insane. So
You guys, if you haven't already seen this hunt, it is now out on our YouTube channel, so you need to go check it out. It's for springtime and turkey hunting. It's what you dream about.
yeah, it looks like I mean, to us at least, it looks like some, I don't know, Kansas or Nebraska. I don't even know. It just, I don't
It's
know why it's
insane.
so crazy
It's
when you have multiple longbeards beating the hell out of a decoy.
because it's crazy.
It's
Like
crazy.
they're
I mean,
beating the hell out of a
I
fake fucking turkey.
and I've watched this footage so many times. I mean, normally when birds come into a decoy, you give them like whatever, 10 seconds, they hammer it like one time and then you shoot them. But to see to see the moves that these turkeys make after like, 2-3 minutes of pounding a decoy, I mean, there's some of their like side kicks and they're like wing punches. Like they'll actually like jab or like right hook with a wing. And it's crazy to watch.
Give it the old Mayweather wing.
But it was, yeah, it's cool. It's crazy to see those birds do that. Honestly, that's what you like. You get a hunt. It's what you dream of. Them coming in
It's
like that, 3 of them. I mean, it's just so
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, they're such pretty birds. It was a gorgeous morning, which helped. I mean, it was a 70-degree day at that point. It wasn't that warm, but the clear sky, sun's just
yeah,
peeking up. It
yeah,
was awesome.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's uh, it's funny because we used to talk so much shit on turkey hunting, and for whatever reason, the last couple years for sure, but definitely this year, like it's captivated me more than anything. But also, I mean, I've been a part of 5 birds going down. Yours would be the 6th. Obviously, I wasn't there, but all scenarios was multiple birds on decoys and the decoys getting destroyed. I
yeah,
mean,
it's crazy, which is so cool.
you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Because sometimes like that, the run and gun is fun. It is, but normally you just don't get that kind of action.
No.
You'll get them strutting coming in, but normally like you're in cover or like it's not always the most ideal setups because you fire a bird up and you got to hit the dirt or get a
Yeah.
tree, and so they're normally like coming through trees, and you just when you get your shot opportunity, you just take it. And there's
Right.
definitely a rush to that. Like you called
Well,
that bird in.
right, especially when you're working them with like a diaphragm call or something, and
Yeah,
you're working it, and
there's a huge rush to that.
there's a solitude of that, like where it's just mano y mano, you versus the
Yeah,
bird, and that's got to be insane.
and,
But
and it is, but it's also super hard to capture that well.
oh,
It's so hard to
if
capture
you're
that.
not capturing it well,
It
even with a cameraman.
self filming is ridiculous to I mean,
Yeah,
it's self filming is hard regardless. But so anyway, it's just yeah, having that set up to be able to capture it all on video is, I don't know, was cool. And then I don't know, I don't like really I don't really think about this anymore. But then I looked at the footage and how just the whole setup. I looked at all my GoPro footage of like walking in and this and that and my interview after, and I'm like, this is all like I didn't have a cameraman,
right.
you know?
Yeah, self filmed. I mean, that's just unfucking real.
And yeah, it's I don't know. It puts a different element to the sport, and I'm not saying like it's not a bragging thing. I just like it's something I'm proud of that we do because like I'm not knocking on anybody, but you just take any big hunters on the outdoor channel or anything, and like I don't know, maybe they can or would, but tell them to go produce something like that all by yourself.
Right. No help.
Not only,
Start to finish.
I'm not saying they can't, but nobody wants to do that.
Right,
Nobody
right.
wants to do that.
No, that's more of it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not saying
because
nobody can.
everybody. I mean, if we can, anybody can do it.
Yeah,
But nobody, like, you don't want to do that. You
no, it's
know.
a lot of friggin' work. I mean, my saying that morning, I said on camera a couple times. My saying was, I'm going in heavy. I'm coming out heavy. Like, because most people are always like, you got a bird on the back. They're like, I'm coming out heavy. I'm like, I went in there with 2 decoys. I have my backpack. I
Full.
did, I have a thermoset. Um, I got my
There's your plug.
I had a tripod, my my fourth arrow monopod. I have obviously my book bag's full of shit. I got my gun. Um, I mean, I had my GoPro out with me. I'm loaded
You're
up, and
filming. You're trying to film like going in too. Like it's
oh,
insane.
I and I hate doing this, but I couldn't. Everything I was carrying was so heavy. I think I had the tripod and monopod in my hand, so I just had my GoPro like up against my tripod, kind of holding it with my thumb. But half the like I'm walking in and it's lower than it's not like up in the air because I can't hold the tripods up in there like that. So I'm just like, man, obviously I'm sweating and everything. I'm just carrying a lot of stuff in. And then on the way out, I carried the whole like I carried all of that and the bird
And the bird.
and was filming. My GoPro died twice on the way out, but I was filming what I could.
It's
So
freaking awesome, man.
um yeah, it was an insane hunt. Like we talked. Dad was our dad was on the fence of being up there with me. He had to get home for something, so it would have been ridiculous if he would have been because it would have been awesome to. We obviously don't know what would happen, but the way it turned out, we probably would have doubled up.
Yeah.
Because those birds didn't. They stuck around for a second after I shot the one. But just I mean, yeah, unreal hunt. I'm looking forward to everyone watching it.
Go watch it. It's on our YouTube channel.
I know turkey hunts sometimes they're not the most
This one doesn't suck.
exciting, but this one's
Honestly, they've
pretty
gotten
cool.
they've gotten progressively better, I feel like, as the years gone on.
They have.
They they've gotten progressively better as the
Yeah.
years gone
Yeah.
on.
And the better they get, the more they're like, the more I'm like, man, I want to find new ways to film these
I
things.
want to
And
do it again. I
I
know.
want to like get sick footage this way. And like, you know, when you're learning how to turkey hunt, at least and trying to self film for what you're just like, I just got to kill a bird, you
Right.
know,
Right.
or if it gets late in the season and you have, obviously it's easier when you have a handful of birds tagged, then now it's like, let's just have some fun.
Sure.
Um, and it's kind of gotten to that point, but, hell yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Congrats. I mean, the footage is insane. I mean, Dad being with you or not, like, it just sets it up for another opportunity for another cool hunt. You know what I
Oh
mean? You
yeah.
just no idea what could happen or what you guys get yourself into. The rest of the next couple weeks of the season or whatever. And I mean,
Yeah, we'll get a few hunts in for sure. And the cool thing is too, I'll just solely be a cameraman and
well, you
I'm
don't
gonna
have a
wanna
choice.
yeah, yeah. But no, my point is that I'm gonna be like that's all I'll be focused on. So
Right. Right.
we'll be trying to capture another one really, really good. So it's just
Yeah. Hell yeah.
cool to do that.
Hell yeah. I was actually poking around public land that same morning. I
Yes.
didn't hear shit, but still trying to bust into the public land thing. It's tough. Like the public land down here in Tennessee is tough because it's so terrainy. Like, and there's very little fields and openings and stuff like that for turkey hunting, at least. You know, and now with the foliage, full foliage, you're walking into, if you haven't been to a certain area yet, I mean, you're walking into something in the dark that you've never been to before. I mean, you could look at Onyx maps all you want, but going in the dark in a scenario like that is kind of
Yeah,
tough.
it's tough because you don't know what you could sit down somewhere and it gets light and you're just like, I can't see.
can't
anything.
see shit. There
Yeah.
could be a fucking rattlesnake right next to you. I mean, like it's crazy. So,
Yeah.
but I am definitely trying to fill my other Tennessee tag. That's for sure. So the search continues.
Got what, a couple weeks?
Yeah, till the 28th, dude.
That's long. Yeah, that's long
They
for
mo- they
Tennessee.
they well they it used to start in the end of March and go till like mid May, first week or two of May. But now, I mean, it didn't start until I think it was April 17th this year. Um, and
That
now, they did the same thing that they did up in Ohio. They
pushed
pushed
it
it
back,
back 2 weeks.
which is good. We obviously need it up here. We need time for them to breed and be able to nest safely to get a hatch. I haven't seen a lot of birds around here. I haven't actually tried a ton, so I don't know. But there's people right in our immediate area that are like, dude, there are so many birds this year, and I'm like, maybe I'm driving in the wrong spots. I don't drive around a ton of fields, at least when I'm home right here. So maybe I just don't see them. But I'm like, man, I haven't seen any
Yeah,
birds.
it's weird. I guess it can be spotty or something. I don't know.
It's got to be because yeah, just a couple people have said they're seeing a lot of birds, and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm
That's
I'm,
great. Yeah.
I'm good to hear that because I haven't seen shit, but hopefully it changes here in the next couple of years because we had a couple spots right around here that were just money and they're completely vacant the last 2-3 years.
Oh my
So
gosh.
maybe
Yeah.
more than that, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I think a lot of that has to do with the corn piles and coons. Corn piles and coons.
Yeah,
Personally.
I mean
Eh,
it it definitely does, but there's not a ton of people that feed like right now. So
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, some people do, I guess, like the bird feeders and this and that. But yeah, I've thought about that too, and I'm like, not most deer hunters, like they're not feeding year round. It's just too expensive to do that.
Mm.
Um, so, but it's definitely just just feed piles in general in the fall. Definitely, I mean, they allow the raccoon population to friggin' flourish.
Oh my God.
They got feed all winter long.
It's brutal.
So
Fucking
that's probably the worst part of it is there's just nothing that kills coons anymore, and they have unlimited food supplies, so they're gonna
right.
multiply like friggin' rabbits,
And they do. And they
and
are
then that hurts the nesting of the turkeys because those things are garbage, egg eating friggin' fiends,
bastards.
bastards.
Good for nothing bastards.
There shouldn't be seasons.
Speaking of eating, I got a little something for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, your recommendation for the venison Philly cheesesteak.
Oh yeah, those are good.
I did it.
They're
I didn't
so
know I didn't
so
know what I was
easy.
doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
I didn't either.
I pulled out a pack. It's actually Jack Daniels, North Dakota. Dude,
That's what I did.
I pulled out a pack and it said chops on it. And
Yeah, I think
I'm like, chops? I'm trying to think. I'm like what
what's that?
chops? And so I was thinking, I'm thinking it's like the steak meat from the hind quarter. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I thawed out, and it's in the white wrapping or whatever
Paper, yeah.
wrapping. I let it thaw out for a couple hours, and I take it out, dude, and it's the front chunk of the back strap. Dude, it was fucking huge. Like when I look at some of the, like I got some of Cartman's back strap, and I mean 5-year-old deer in New York. Like I got one of my doe's back straps, like just a couple pieces that I had left, but I took that thing out and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this thing's like the size of my thigh. Like it was fucking huge, and it had to be just the front portion of the back strap. And I'm like, I'm committed now. Like that wasn't necessarily what I would maybe want to like roast, but
Oh, that had to be insane.
dude, I threw that thing in a crock pot, and I didn't have any beef broth, or I had chicken broth. That was it. So I used chicken broth. I put the or the backstrap in the crock pot. I reload rubbed it with the steak and chop, and then I put chicken broth. I like filled up the bottom of it, like probably half, so the backstrap was like submerged like halfway.
Yeah.
Cut some onions, threw them in there. Cut up two green peppers, threw it in there, and then I put a little minced garlic on the top of it. Dude, I let that thing roast for like 7 hours.
Oh my
And
God.
the last hour, I had cut up portobello mushrooms,
Yeah.
so big, the long fuckers.
Yeah.
Put them in there. You can't put the mushrooms in early because they'll wilt away.
There'll be nothing left.
Yeah, you got to put them in the last hour. You put them in so they soften up, and then you got a good mushroom, dude. And then, like you suggested to me, I got those fucking Hawaiian rolls, dude.
What is
Whoever
with those things?
whoever whoever made those Hawaiian rolls needs to be kissed in the mouth.
I mean, love cushions.
Oh my God. Like, those things are perfect. They're little, they got like 12 of them all stuck together, so you could make one big fucking sandwich if you want, or you could have like little slider sandwiches.
Yeah.
Dude, that meat shredded so easily. Oh, and the other thing I did, which I added later, I went to the store and I got one of those au jus packets.
Yeah.
I put it like
That's
in
use key.
half of the amount of water that they asked for, and I just made sure that I stirred it all up before I dumped it in there. And I put that in there at like the 3 hour mark, so it was maybe like halfway, a little less than halfway through. But I didn't have any, so I had to go to the store and get it. Dude, that shit was so fucking good. I took a whole row of Hawaiian rolls, and I cut it like a hot dog bun, and I just opened that son of a bitch up. I piled that thing on there with meat and peppers and onions and portobellos, dude, and then I covered it in provolone.
Oh
Okay,
yeah. Yep. And you put it back.
shove that provolone in the broiler so that, oh my good, it was like a Philadelphia cheesesteak venison fucking pizza. It was
But
so good,
priceless.
dude. I
It's
honestly,
a $20 sandwich.
all day you could sell those little sliders for $5 a pop, no problem,
Yeah. I mean, it should be
no
almost
problem.
more because they're hand harvested.
Hand hand carved coca bullet, dude. Wow, I was shook because like it's so hard. We cook. I mean, 4 to 5 nights a week easily.
So do we.
Our freezer is stocked with meat. Like we don't need to go. We don't go to the store to buy meat. We might buy chicken every once in a while, but we don't buy shit. We're
No,
for
you
meat.
just buy the
We're
stuff that
stocked
goes
up.
with the meat.
Right, we're stocked up. We got burger meat. We got sausage. We got back straps. We got steaks. We got it all. We're good, and it's dwindling. So deer
Yeah, so
season's
is
got to
mine.
come here quick. We got a little bit of turkey. I think like half a breast for my Tennessee turkey down here, but other than that, we don't need to buy meat. So, but it's like I don't know. You cook that much, and it gets you want to do something different. So
You
when
got
you
to.
said those venison Phillies the other week, and oh my God,
There's
well,
still
honestly, Kelly doesn't love, the sandwich portion of it. So I made a thing of mashed potatoes, and she just put the whole mixture
on
of
top
meat
of it.
and over mashed potatoes. Holy shit!
Insane. You got to think of new things to do, but it's if whatever meal you're making, I you can substitute the meat with some type of venison
Oh,
and
easily.
just make like we eat it almost every night. It's amazing.
It's
Taco, like, dude, there's so many creative things you can do and on like shit. Instagram and Reels and TikTok, and there's just so many. Those Hawaiian rolls are a game changer if you use them. Number one, you can just pop one of those out of the package and eat it, and you'll enjoy it.
oh my God.
But
Warm that thing up and put a
oh
little.
my god!
You just cream your shorts.
And for sliders, the nice thing is for making those, it's always hard to prepare a slider because you're putting meat on a tiny bun. All you do with the Hawaiian rolls is you cut that whole slice of bread in half,
Yep.
and then you pile all of your meat, all your cheese on that whole flat piece of bread Hawaiian roll.
It's like a
Put the
fucking
yeah,
queen bed.
you put the top right back on it. Put it back in the oven, and then when you take it out, you just take a big knife and cut them all up. And how many are there? There's like
I think
16.
there's like 12 to 16. Yeah.
So then you have 12 to 16 sliders. Boom, 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 and you didn't have to individually make them.
Dude,
Friggin', you could with I've seen them done with dude, breakfast sandwiches. You
breakfast
just
and yep.
you just cover it in like you could do venison sausage, then just cover it in scrambled eggs, some like cheddar cheese. You could put bacon on top of that, and then you put the top bun on it, and then you could like drizzle butter and
You
butter and
paint.
butter syrup painting on top of it, and then you put
Oh my
that back in
god.
the oven. Maybe sprinkle it
Oh
with a little like uh some kind of pepper or something. Then you put it back in the oven, and then it
fuck.
melts. Holy
Fuck.
shit!
My god. It's not even fair.
It's insane.
We need to
And
get a partnership going with Hawaiian rolls, dude. I
and the
could
other
eat them for the rest of my life every single day.
the other sleeper is, which this doesn't have to do with venison, but take those Hawaiian rolls and make your French toast batter and just roll those things in it.
Wait, what?
Dude, like you can rip those things apart. So they're little Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, I
And
do it
then
all
just
the time.
yeah, and then make your French toast batter and you just roll those things in the French toast batter and then cook those on the pan. You roll them on the pan and put some like uh, home harvested maple syrup, local maple syrup on those things.
You're blowing my mind right now.
Dude, though that is the softest. Oh my god. French toast.
What made you think of that?
I
Do
saw it on I think it's Instagram Reels, dude, and I was like, I'm a French toast. Like I freaking love French toast. Love it.
oh, I
I
love
love
Hawaiian
really
rolls, bro.
any breakfast food with syrup. Your boy loves it. But
Can you pop the top? Give me a little sampler.
you put a little more for me. No high fructose corn syrup, please. Um,
Got to get
yeah,
that log cabin, baby.
yeah. Try that.
Dude, French toast with Hawaiian rolls.
Insane.
That is fucking genius.
And if you
I was
want,
thinking you were gonna say cut them in half, and
oh no, you don't even need to, dude.
that's got to be just
I mean, you
great.
can if you want.
You could take the whole roll with your fingers and just dip it in syrup and bite
Yeah,
it like
exactly. You just have
like
a
it's a
little syrup
Hawaiian
dipper.
French toast muffin.
That's exactly what you do. Coat it with powdered sugar,
Fuck.
dip that in the friggin' syrup, and then you
I
got
only
your little
got
handhelds.
I only got like 3 rolls, dude. That whole thing. The last 2 nights. Last night we had leftovers of the Philly cheese. Well, the venison Philly. There's 3 rolls left. Just me. Just
Just
me.
crushing them.
Crushing rolls. Crushing Hawaiians.
You can do anything with those, man. Friggin', you can do like
PB and
turkey.
J's got to be pretty good on them.
Yeah, you can do like turkey bacon ranch sliders. Cover that whole
Oh
thing.
my
Those are
god.
insane. I just thought of this.
Little burger sliders would be
Insane, yeah.
on there.
I just thought of this too, though. But you could do like a almost like a McGriddle, and
Oh,
and you could probably put a small layer of sausage in between, and then do the French toast thing,
oh my god.
and then you got McGriddles, man. Shit.
Fuck McGriddles. You got Hawaiian
Yeah,
fucking
the idea is McGriddle. They are not
Venny
McGriddles.
griddles.
Ven griddle.
We're gonna invent the new Ven griddle.
We'll call them the Alohas for the Hawaiian roll.
We're gonna, we're gonna make the venison Ven griddle. It's called the Aloha.
Honey, why don't you come downstairs? I made you a cup of coffee and a Aloha with some maple syrup.
It's going to make you so happy in your pantalones. You're
Yeah.
going to want to touch me in my pantalones.
It's going to make your socks shoot right off your feet.
Can I interest you in a sock change?
Can I interest you in a sock change? This will blow your mind. Have a seat.
Have a seat.
Have a seat.
Please, you're going to need to be sitting down for this.
Have a
It is
seat.
going to literally blow your mind.
Have a seat right here.
Would you
This
like
would
powdered sugar?
this would be nice.
Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes, it does. So yes, I do. And syrup? Yes. Maple syrup? Yes. Gosh damn it, that's good stuff. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be. I got to go get another pack of Hawaiian rolls. That's just what needs to happen because I got to try this French toast, and I'm definitely trying the Hawaiian Ven Griddle,
Got to do that Ven griddle.
the Aloha Ven Griddle.
The aloha.
Come have yourself an Aloha Ven Griddle.
Those might be a new thing. I'm gonna try
Yep.
it too. I just thought of it. I haven't done it yet. Oh, we just lost David. We lost David. Where did he go? There
He's back.
he
He's
is.
back. That made me nervous for a second. Yeah, dude, I'm definitely going to the store and getting some more Hawaiian rolls because I'm doing the Ven Griddle. Aloha Ven Griddle. We're gonna have to do we're gonna have to do a little video on that now
Got to.
because you got to show the people
Yep.
the Ven Griddle. No ifs, ands, or boots about it.
Got to do it.
Got to do the Ven Griddle. See ya tomorrow for a Ven Griddle.
See you tomorrow.
Good shit. Well,
Yeah.
that was good. That was good chat. Got some turkey hunting in. Got some other stuff in. Got some LASIK. Invented a new Sangi called the Ven Griddle. I mean, what more do you like?
Love it.
I wish we could talk further, but we got to go talk to other people.
We do.
Got some new stuff coming down the pipeline, y'all. Can't wait to show yous or hear yous.
It's been fun. It's been real.
Yeah. Until next Wednesday, you all know where to find us. Go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe if you don't. Definitely check out Dino's solo turkey hunting vid. Uncle Jay's Snowbirds on there. Opening Day New York's on there. Our Tennessee doubles on there. You know, there's a lot of good stuff. Recent good stuff on there. You guys got to go check out. So go to our YouTube channel. Check it out. Instagram at Team TAGNBRAG. Facebook at TAGNBRAG. And on Spotify right here. Do it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I just got an email today also saying that we busted into the top 200 on Apple Podcasts for wilderness podcasts. Listen,
Top 200. Let's go.
I don't know. I feel like that's decent. I don't fucking know.
We don't even know. Could be horrible, but
It could be shitty. There could be 205 fucking wilderness podcasts. I don't know. But we busted into the
finally
top
broke
200.
through.
So let's go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, until next time, folks. Keep it chasing.
Keep goose chasing.
We love
Love ya.
y'all.